Welcome to today's Lost Souls, where we bring you the most impactful and unforgettable stories from around the world. Today, we remember the lives of remarkable individuals whose legacies continue to inspire and resonate. From iconic musicians to trailblazing activists, join us as we celebrate their extraordinary contributions and bid farewell to those who have left an indelible mark on our lives. Stay tuned for a journey through their incredible stories.
Kevin Conroy. Passed away at the age of 66, Kevin Conroy was an iconic American actor best known for his groundbreaking work as the voice of Batman in Batman, the animated series, and numerous other animated projects, films, and video games. Born on November 30, 1955 in Westbury, New York, Conroy revolutionized the character of Batman with a distinctive dual voice approach, portraying Bruce Wayne as a charming, playful playboy, while his Batman voice was deep and commanding, embodying the Dark Knight's brooding intensity. This nuanced portrayal resonated deeply with fans and critics, firmly establishing Conroy as the definitive voice of Batman for nearly 3 decades. Conroy studied drama at the prestigious Juilliard School, where he shared a class with future stars Robin Williams and Kelsey Grammer. After graduating in 1978, he toured nationally with theatrical productions before transitioning to television and voice acting. His breakthrough in animation came in 1992 with Batman, the animated series, a critically acclaimed show that redefined superhero animation and fan expectations. Conroy's voice work continued across numerous DC projects, including animated films like Batman, Mask of the Phantasm, TV series such as Justice League, and popular video games like the Arkham series. His portrayal brought psychological depth and emotional complexity to Batman, famously interpreting the character not as a mere disguise, but as the true identity of Bruce Wayne, a concept that changed how audiences perceived the superhero. Colleagues, including fellow voice actor Mark Hamill, praised Conroy's warmth and kindness, recognizing him as both a consummate professional and a beloved friend. Besides his extensive voice acting credits, Conroy appeared in live-action television and films, with guest roles in series like Cheers, Dallas, and Murphy Brown. He also explored directing and stage acting throughout his career, showcasing his versatility beyond voice work. Kevin Conroy passed away on November 10, 2022, after a brief battle with intestinal cancer. His death was met with profound sadness across the entertainment world and by fans worldwide. DC Comics honored his legacy by offering free access to the documentary Finding Batman, which chronicled his journey with the character. Conroy's legacy lives on as an enduring icon who gave heart, soul, and humanity to one of the most beloved superheroes in pop culture history. Tommy Kirk. Passed away at the age of 79, Tommy Kirk was a beloved American actor renowned for his roles in classic Walt Disney films during the 1950s and 1960s. Born Thomas Lee Kirk on December 10, 1941, in Louisville, Kentucky, he became a familiar and comforting presence in family entertainment, starring in iconic movies such as Old Yeller, 1957, where he played the tear-jerking role of Travis Coates, the Shaggy Dog, 1959, and Swiss Family Robinson, 1960. Kirk's natural charm, combined with his boyish good looks and sincere performances, made him a favorite among young audiences and Disney fans alike. He portrayed steady, good-hearted youths, embodying the wholesome image Disney cultivated, and was often cast alongside stars like Fred MacMurray and Annette Funicello. His Disney career also included hits like The Absent-Minded Professor and The Misadventures of Merlin Jones. Despite a successful rise, Kirk's career with Disney abruptly ended in the mid-1960s, after it became known that he was gay, a revelation that at the time carried severe professional consequences. This setback marked a turning point, and he found himself cast in fewer major productions, eventually transitioning to low-budget films through the 1970s. Kirk candidly spoke about the struggles he faced during this period, including professional, rejection, and personal hardships. After leaving acting behind, Kirk started a new career, founding a successful carpet and upholstery cleaning business in Southern California. Although he largely retired from the public eye, he made occasional appearances at fan conventions and participated in retrospective interviews, sharing stories about his time with Disney and his experiences in Hollywood. Kirk's death was announced on September 28, 2021, when he was found in his Las Vegas home. Despite the challenges he faced, Tommy Kirk left a lasting impact on the golden age of family films, remembered fondly by generations of viewers who grew up watching him on screen. John Fraser. Passed away at the age of 89, John Alexander Fraser was a distinguished Scottish actor and author whose career spanned over 4 decades across stage, film, and television. Born on March 18, 1931 in Glasgow, Scotland, Fraser gained recognition as a versatile actor noted for his roles in classic films and television series, as well as his candid and insightful literary contributions. Fraser's early acting career began on stage as a child and extended into television, with his first TV role in the series Kidnapped in 1952. One of his breakthrough film roles was as Flight Lieutenant John Hopgood in the 1955 war classic The Dam Busters, which became a significant cultural milestone in British cinema. He followed this with a romantic lead role as Inigo Jolliphant in the screen musical The Good Companions, 1957, earning himself heartthrob status during the era. Perhaps Fraser's most critically acclaimed role was portraying Lord Alfred Douglas, the lover of Oscar Wilde, in The Trials of Oscar Wilde, 1960, a performance that earned him a BAFTA nomination. His film credits also include major productions such as El Cid, 1961, Repulsion, 1965, directed by Roman Polanski, and Isadora, 1968. Fraser's ability to portray complex, often conflicted characters made him a standout actor in the British film industry. Fraser was also a recognizable face on television, appearing in popular shows including Danger Man, Columbo, Doctor Who, Randall and Hopkirk, and The Bill. His TV roles showcased his broad range, spanning mystery dramas, period pieces, and science fiction. Beyond acting, Fraser was an accomplished writer. In 2004, he published his autobiography Close Up, in which he openly discussed his life as a gay man in the entertainment industry during a time when being open could limit one's career opportunities. He also wrote novels and plays, including Clap Hands If You Believe in Fairies, a novel addressing the tragedy of the thalidomide drug scandal. John Fraser retired from acting in 1996, spending his later years in Tuscany with his long-term partner, Rod Pinar, before returning to London. He passed away on November 6, 2020, from esophageal cancer. Fraser is remembered as a consummate professional with a courageous personal journey and a lasting legacy in British cinema and literature. Chadwick Boseman passed away at the age of 43. Chadwick Aaron Boseman was a groundbreaking American actor and playwright, celebrated for his significant contributions to film, television, and theater. Born on November 29, 1976, in Anderson, South Carolina, Boseman graduated from Howard University with a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree in directing, later attending the British American Drama Academy in Oxford, England. He began his career in theater, gaining acclaim and awards for his roles, and as a playwright before moving into television and film. Boseman first garnered major attention with his portrayal of baseball legend Jackie Robinson in 42, 2013, a film that chronicled Robinson's struggle to break Major League Baseball's color barrier. He further developed a reputation for portraying iconic African-American figures, including the legendary singer James Brown in Get On Up, 2014, and the pioneering Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall in Marshall, 2017. However, it was his portrayal of T'Challa, the Black Panther, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that transformed Boseman into an international superstar and cultural icon. Beginning with Captain America. Civil War, 2016. Boseman starred as the titular hero in Black Panther, 2018, a film heralded for its cultural impact, diverse cast, and celebration of African and African American culture. The film grossed over $1 billion worldwide and received multiple Academy Award nominations, marking a watershed moment in representation in Hollywood. Despite being diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer in 2016, Boseman kept his illness private, continuing to work through surgeries and chemotherapy. His final films, including 21 Bridges, 2019, Spike Lee's Da 5 Bloods, 2020, and Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, 2020, where he received posthumous acclaim, showcased his profound talent and commitment as an artist until his passing on August 28, 2020. Chadwick Boseman's legacy extends far beyond his memorable performances. He inspired countless individuals with his dignity, dedication, and the powerful representation of Black heroes and history in cinema. His posthumous awards include a Golden Globe and Screen Actors Guild Award for Best Actor, as well as a Primetime Emmy Award for his voice work in the What If? Series. Boseman remains a symbol of strength, perseverance, and cultural pride. Rip Taylor passed away at the age of 88. Charles Elmer, Rip Taylor Jr., was a flamboyant American comedian and actor best known for his wild mustache, colorful toupees, and signature confetti-throwing antics that delighted audiences for more than 6 decades. Born on January 13, 1931 in Washington, D.C., Taylor got his start in entertainment after serving in the U.S. Army during the Korean War, where he entertained troops with his comedic talents. Taylor's career took off in the 1960s when he appeared on The Ed Sullivan Show, quickly becoming a beloved and recognizable personality on television. Known primarily for his high-energy performances, outrageous costumes, and manic humor, Taylor made thousands of appearances on television game shows including Match Game, The Hollywood Squares, The Gong Show, and Super Password. His exuberance earned him nicknames like the Prince of Pandemonium and King of Camp and Confetti, perfectly encapsulating his joyful and chaotic stage presence. In addition to television, Rip Taylor was a seasoned stage performer, touring in musical comedies such as Sugar Babies, Anything Goes, Oliver, A Peter Pan, and A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum. He also had a successful voice acting career, lending his distinctive voice to animated characters in Scooby-Doo, DuckTales the Movie, The Addams Family, and The Emperor's New School. Taylor was nominated for an Emmy for voicing Uncle Fester in the Addams Family TV series. Despite a tough childhood marked by abuse and bullying, Taylor found joy and solace in making people laugh. He was known for his kindness and mentorship to younger comedians. Taylor was in a long-term relationship with Robert Fortney. Rip Taylor passed away on October 6, 2019, in Beverly Hills, California, from congestive heart failure after suffering a seizure. His legacy continues as a beloved icon of comedy, remembered for bringing exuberance, laughter, and confetti to generations of fans. Tab Hunter passed away at the age of 86. Tab Hunter, born Arthur Andrew Kelm on July 11, 1931, was an American actor, singer, film producer, and author who became one of Hollywood's most popular heartthrobs during the 1950s and 1960s. Known for his blonde hair, boy-next-door looks, and suave charm, Hunter starred in over 40 films and countless television shows, leaving a lasting impression as a leading man of the golden age of Hollywood. Hunter was born in New York City to Gertrude Gellion, a German immigrant, and Charles Kelm, who was Jewish. Raised in California after his parents' divorce, Hunter initially explored figure skating and served briefly in the U.S. Coast Guard by lying about his age. A chance meeting with an agent led him into acting, where his good looks and natural charisma quickly made him a star. His breakthrough film was Battle Cry, 1955, where he played a young Marine, outshining notable contemporaries during auditions. For the role, Hunter gained even more fame with the musical Damn Yankees, 1958, where his charm and singing talents were on full display. His music career also flourished briefly with his 1957 hit single Young Love, which topped the Billboard charts for weeks. Despite a promising start, Hunter's career faced challenges as the 1960s progressed, and new young stars emerged. He expanded into television with The Tab Hunter Show, 1960, and guest appearances on numerous series. In the 1980s, a career revival came through his collaborations with director John Waters, notably in Polyester, 1981, and Lust in the Dust, 1985, where Hunter embraced camp and self-parody. Hunter was one of the first Hollywood actors to publicly come out as gay, courageously revealing his identity in his 2005 memoir, Tab Hunter Confidential. The book became a bestseller and was adapted into a well-received documentary. Known for his kindness, humor, and professionalism, Hunter lived the latter part of his life quietly in California with his husband, Alan Glaser. Tab Hunter passed away on July 8, 2018, just 3 days shy of his 87th birthday. He is remembered as a charismatic star who gracefully navigated the challenges of Hollywood stardom, a talented performer with a golden voice, and a trailblazer who helped pave the way for greater acceptance in the industry. Carol Burnett. Carol Burnett was born on April 26, 1933 in San Antonio, Texas, into a world that would shape her resilience, humor, and deep empathy for others. Her childhood was marked by instability, poverty, and family dysfunction. Yet these very challenges would later fuel her comedic genius and her ability to connect with audiences on a profound emotional level. Carol's parents, Ina Louise and Joseph Thomas Burnett, struggled with alcoholism throughout her early years. Her father worked as a movie theater manager, but his drinking problem made steady employment difficult. Her mother, Ina, also battled alcohol addiction, creating a chaotic home environment that forced young Carol to mature quickly and often, assume adult responsibilities. When Carol was very young, her parents' marriage began to deteriorate under the weight of their addictions and financial struggles. The family situation became so unstable that Carol and her younger half-sister Chrissy were sent to live with their maternal grandmother, Mabel Odora White, whom they called Nanny. This move to Hollywood, California when Carol was around 7 years old would prove to be a pivotal moment in her life. Nanny White became the stabilizing force in Carol's tumultuous childhood. A strong, determined woman who worked as a cleaning lady and took in ironing to support the family, Nanny provided the love, structure, and encouragement that Carol desperately needed. Despite their poverty, living in a cramped apartment in a rough neighborhood, Nanny instilled in Carol the values of hard work, perseverance, and the importance of education. The young Carol found solace and escape in the world of entertainment. She would spend hours at the local movie theater watching films and studying the performances of her favorite stars. She was particularly drawn to comedians and musical performers, fascinated by their ability to make people laugh and forget their troubles. Even as a child, Carol displayed a natural talent for mimicry and comedy, often entertaining her family and friends with impressions of movie stars and radio personalities. School provided another refuge for Carol. Despite the challenges at home, she excelled academically and discovered her love for performing arts. She participated in school plays and talent shows, where her comedic timing and natural stage presence began to shine. Her teachers recognized her talent and encouraged her to pursue her interests in drama and music. The financial struggles of her family meant that Carol often wore hand-me-down clothes and had to work part-time jobs to help support the household. She cleaned houses, worked as a hatch check girl, and took on various other jobs, all while maintaining her studies and nurturing her dreams of becoming an entertainer. These experiences taught her the value of hard work, and gave her a deep understanding of the struggles faced by working-class families, themes that would later appear in her comedy. Carol's relationship with her parents remained complicated throughout her childhood. Her mother, A.A., would occasionally return to their lives, sometimes sober and full of promises, but more often struggling with her addiction. These periods of hope, followed by disappointment, taught Carol to be self-reliant, while also developing her deep capacity for forgiveness and understanding of human frailty. Despite the hardships, Carol's childhood was not without joy and laughter. Her grandmother's love and support, combined with Carol's natural optimism and humor, helped her find light in even the darkest situations. She learned to use comedy as a coping mechanism, a way to transform pain into something that could bring joy to others. This ability to find humor in adversity would become one of her greatest strengths as a performer and as a person. The poverty of her youth also instilled in Carol a deep appreciation for simple pleasures and a generosity of spirit that would characterize her throughout her life. She understood what it meant to go without, and this experience would later drive her to give back to others facing similar struggles. Carol Burnett's rise to entertainment stardom was neither immediate nor easy, but her persistence, talent, and unique comedic voice eventually made her one of America's most beloved performers. While she is best known for her groundbreaking television work, particularly The Carol Burnett Show, her film career also showcased her remarkable versatility as an actress and performer. After graduating from UCLA with a degree in theater arts and English, Carol's early career began in New York City in the 1950s. She started with small roles in off-Broadway productions and nightclub performances, gradually building her reputation as a talented comedic actress with exceptional vocal abilities. Her breakthrough came when she landed a regular role on The Gary Moore Show in 1959, where her comedic sketches and musical performances began to attract national attention. Carol's transition to film began in the 1960s, though she would always maintain that her heart belonged to live performance and television. Her first significant film role came in 1963 with Who's Been Sleeping in My Bed, starring alongside Dean Martin. While this romantic comedy was not a major critical success, it marked Carol's entry into Hollywood and demonstrated her ability to hold her own alongside established stars. However, it was her role in the 1982 film Annie that truly showcased Carol's dramatic range and marked a significant departure from her comedic television persona. Playing the cruel and calculating Miss Hannigan, the head of the orphanage, Carol delivered a performance that was both menacing and surprisingly nuanced. Her portrayal of the gin-soaked bitter woman who torments the orphans under her care revealed her ability to tap into darker emotions while still maintaining traces of the humor that made her famous. The film was a commercial success, and Carol's performance was widely praised for its depth and complexity. Annie represented a turning point in Carol's career, proving that she could successfully transition between mediums and genres. Her singing of Little Girls became one of the film's memorable moments, combining her musical theater background with her new dramatic sensibilities. The role also demonstrated her willingness to take risks and challenge audience expectations, showing a side of her talent that television audiences had rarely seen. Another notable film appearance came in 1981 with The Four Seasons, directed by and starring Alan Alda. In this ensemble piece about three couples navigating middle age and friendship, Carol played Pat, a neurotic and somewhat fragile woman dealing with her husband's midlife crisis. The role allowed her to showcase her dramatic acting abilities, while still incorporating elements of the physical comedy and timing that had made her television career so successful. Carol's work in Noises Off, 1992, further demonstrated her versatility as a performer. This adaptation of Michael Frau's acclaimed stage farce required precise comedic timing and physical comedy skills, playing Doi Ottilie, an aging actress in a chaotic theater production. Carol brought both her theatrical experience and her natural comedic instincts to create a memorable character. The film, while not a major box office success, was appreciated by critics for its faithful adaptation of the stage play and the strong ensemble performances. Throughout the 1990s and 2000s, Carol continued to appear in films that allowed her to explore different aspects of her talent. Her role in Horton Hears a Who, 2008, as the kangaroo showcased her voice acting abilities, bringing warmth and personality to the animated character. This marked her successful transition into voice work, a medium that would become increasingly important in her later career. Perhaps one of her most emotionally resonant film performances came in Hollywood Arms, 2002, a television movie based on the memoir she co-wrote with her daughter Carrie. This deeply personal project allowed Carol to revisit her childhood experiences, playing her own grandmother Nanny in the story of her early years. The performance was both a tribute to the woman who raised her and a demonstration of her ability to bring authentic emotion to her dramatic roles. Carol's film career, while perhaps overshadowed by her television success, consistently demonstrated her range as a performer. She never seemed to choose roles simply for commercial appeal, instead gravitating toward projects that challenged her artistically or held personal meaning. Her performances across different genres showed that her talent extended far beyond the sketch comedy that made her famous. The success of these films also reflected Carol's understanding of her own strengths as a performer. She seemed to instinctively know which roles would allow her to shine while avoiding parts that might diminish her unique appeal. Her film choices often featured ensemble casts, allowing her to play off other talented actors while contributing her own distinctive energy to the projects. Throughout her long and illustrious career, Carol Burnett has faced various health challenges that have tested her resilience and determination. Like many performers of her generation, she has had to navigate the physical and emotional demands of a career in entertainment while managing personal health issues that could have derailed a less determined individual. One of the most significant health challenges Carol faced was related to her vocal cords, the very instrument that had helped launch her career. As a performer who relied heavily on her singing voice and comedic delivery, any threat to her vocal abilities was particularly concerning. Over the years, the strain of countless performances, television tapings, and live appearances took their toll on her voice. She experienced periods where her vocal cords became inflamed and required rest and treatment, forcing her to occasionally cancel performances and appearances. The discipline required to maintain her voice became a constant consideration in Carol's career planning. She worked with voice coaches and medical professionals to develop techniques that would preserve her vocal health while still allowing her to perform at the highest level. This included learning proper breathing techniques, vocal warm-ups, and understanding when to rest her voice to prevent more serious damage. Carol also faced the common health challenges that come with aging in the public eye. As she moved through her 60s, 70s, and beyond, she dealt with the typical issues that affect many older adults, including joint problems and the general wear and tear that comes from decades of physical comedy and demanding performance schedules. Her years of physical comedy on The Carol Burnett Show, which often involved pratfalls, elaborate costume changes, and energetic movement, had left their mark on her body. Arthritis became a particular concern as Carol aged, affecting her mobility and causing discomfort that she had to manage while continuing to perform. The condition, common among performers who have spent decades engaging in physical comedy, required her to adapt her performance style and be more selective about the types of roles and appearances she would accept. Despite these challenges, she maintained her commitment to performing, often pushing through discomfort to honor her professional obligations. Mental health has also been an important aspect of Carol's health journey. Though she has approached this topic with characteristic honesty and openness, the stress of maintaining a successful career, combined with personal losses and family challenges, occasionally took an emotional toll. Carol has spoken candidly about periods of sadness and difficulty, particularly following the deaths of loved ones and during challenging times in her personal life. However, Carol's approach to mental health has always been proactive and positive. She has consistently emphasized the importance of seeking help when needed, and has been open about the benefits of therapy and counseling. Her willingness to discuss these topics publicly has helped reduce stigma around mental health issues and encouraged others to seek help when facing their own challenges. The performer has also dealt with the typical health screenings and preventive care that become increasingly important with age. Regular checkups, cancer screenings, and monitoring of various health indicators became routine parts of her life. Though she has generally been fortunate to avoid major health crises that might have significantly impacted her career or quality of life, Carol's approach to health challenges has always reflected her practical, non-nonsense personality. Rather than allowing health issues to define or limit her, she has consistently sought appropriate medical care, followed professional advice, and made necessary adjustments to her lifestyle and career to accommodate her health needs. This pragmatic approach has allowed her to continue performing and appearing in public well into her later years. The entertainment industry's demanding schedule and high-pressure environment can exacerbate health issues, but Carol learned early in her career to prioritize her well-being when necessary. She developed strategies for managing stress, including maintaining close relationships with family and friends, pursuing hobbies and interests outside of entertainment, and ensuring she had adequate rest between major projects. Physical therapy and exercise have also played important roles in Carol's health maintenance routine. Understanding that staying active and maintaining strength and flexibility were crucial for her continued ability to perform, she worked with professionals to develop exercise routines that would support her overall health while addressing specific issues related to her years as a physical performer. Throughout all of her health challenges, Carol has maintained her characteristic optimism and humor. She has often joked about the realities of aging and the various aches and pains that come with a long career in entertainment, using humor as both a coping mechanism and a way to connect with audiences who may be facing similar challenges. Carol Burnett's life, while filled with professional triumphs and public acclaim, has also been marked by profound personal losses that have tested her strength and resilience in ways that no amount of fame or success could prepare her for. These experiences of grief and loss have shaped her character, deepened her empathy, and influenced both her personal relationships and her approach to her craft. Perhaps the most devastating loss in Carol's life was the death of her eldest daughter, Carrie Louise Hamilton, in January 2002. Carrie, who was 38 years old at the time of her death, had struggled with drug addiction for many years, a battle that caused Carol immense pain and worry. Despite Carol's best efforts to help her daughter, including multiple rehabilitation attempts and constant support, Carr's addiction ultimately led to her premature death from complications related to lung and brain cancer, conditions that may have been exacerbated by her substance abuse. The loss of Carrie was particularly heartbreaking because mother and daughter had been extremely close, and Carrie had shown tremendous promise as a writer and actress. In her final years, Carrie had been working on a memoir about her childhood and her relationship with her famous mother, a project that would later become the basis for the television movie Hollywood Arms. The collaboration on this project had been a source of healing and connection between mother and daughter, making her loss even more poignant. Carol's grief over Carr's death was profound and long-lasting. She has spoken openly about the guilt and self-doubt that followed, questioning whether she had done enough, whether her career had somehow contributed to her daughter's problems, and whether she could have made different choices that might have changed the outcome. This period of mourning was one of the darkest times in Carol's life, challenging her natural optimism and forcing her to confront the limitations of love and fame in protecting those we care about most. The tragedy was compounded by the fact that Carrie left behind a young son, Dylan, who became Carol's responsibility to raise. At an age when many grandparents are enjoying retirement and occasional visits with grandchildren, Carol found herself once again in the role of primary caregiver. this time for a child who had lost his mother and was dealing with his own grief and trauma. Carol's relationship with her own parents had been a source of ongoing pain throughout her adult life. Her mother, A. Louise, never fully overcame her alcoholism, and their relationship remained complicated and often difficult until AA's death. The cycle of hope and disappointment that characterized their relationship left Carol with a deep understanding of addiction's impact on families, knowledge that would prove both helpful and heartbreaking when dealing with her daughter's struggles. Her father, Joseph Thomas Burnett, was largely absent from Carol's life due to his own battles with alcohol and the dissolution of her parents' marriage. His death, while not unexpected given his lifestyle and health issues, still represented the final closing of a chapter filled with missed opportunities and unfulfilled relationships. The loss highlighted the ways in which addiction had robbed Carol of the stable, nurturing family relationships that many take for granted. Carol also experienced the loss of many close friends and colleagues throughout her career, a reality that becomes increasingly difficult as one ages. The entertainment industry, which had provided her with a chosen family of sorts, gradually saw the passing of many of the people who had been instrumental in her success and personal happiness. These losses included longtime collaborators, fellow performers, and friends who had shared both the struggles and triumphs of life in show business. The death of Harvey Korman, her longtime collaborator and co-star on The Carol Burnett Show in 2008, was particularly difficult for Carol. Harvey had been not just a professional partner, but a dear friend, and their comedic chemistry had been one of the defining elements of her television show's success. His passing represented the end of an era and the loss of someone who had understood her comedic sensibilities better than almost anyone else. Tim Conway, another beloved member of the Carol Burnett Show family, also passed away in 2019, further diminishing the circle of people who had shared Carol's golden years in television. These losses were not just personal, but also professional, as they marked the passing of an entire generation of performers who had helped define American comedy television. The cumulative effect of these losses has been significant in Carol's life, forcing her to grapple with grief, survivor's guilt, and the loneliness that can come with outliving many of one's contemporaries and loved ones. However, Carol's response to these tragedies has been characteristic of her strength and resilience. Rather than becoming bitter or withdrawn, she has used these experiences to deepen her compassion and understanding of human suffering. Carol has often spoken about how these losses have influenced her perspective on life and her relationships with the people still in her life. She has become more intentional about expressing love and appreciation, more aware of the fragility of life, and more committed to making meaningful connections with others. The pain of loss has not diminished her capacity for joy, but has perhaps made her more grateful for the moments of happiness and connection that life offers. As Carol Burnett, and connection that life offers. As Carol Burnett, this philanthropy reflects her understanding of how crucial support and opportunity were in her own career development and her desire to provide similar assistance to the next generation. Public speaking and appearances at special events have become regular parts of Carol's schedule. She frequently participates in television anniversaries, awards ceremonies, and industry celebrations where her presence serves as a bridge between different eras of entertainment. These appearances often feature her sharing stories from her career, offering wisdom about the industry, and demonstrating the quick wit and humor that made her famous. Carol's relationship with technology and social media has evolved as she has adapted to the changing landscape of entertainment and communication. While not as active on digital platforms as younger celebrities, she has embraced these tools as ways to connect with fans and share updates about her life and work. Her team helps her maintain an online presence that feels authentic while respecting her privacy and personal boundaries. The question and answer sessions that have become a signature part of Carol's live appearances continue to delight audiences and demonstrate her quick thinking and genuine connection with people. These interactions, which began as a segment on The Carol Burnett Show, have evolved into a central feature of her current public appearances, allowing her to showcase her spontaneous humor while creating unique, repeatable moments with each audience. Carol's current health and wellness routine reflects both her age and her determination to remain active and engaged. She works with healthcare professionals to maintain her physical health, continues to exercise within her capabilities, and prioritizes activities that bring her joy and satisfaction. Her approach to aging has been characterized by acceptance of physical limitations while refusing to let those limitations define what she can accomplish. Family relationships remain central to Carol's current happiness and sense of purpose. Her surviving daughters, Jody and Aaron, are important parts of her support system, and she takes great pride in her grandchildren and great-grandchildren. The family gatherings and celebrations that mark holidays and special occasions have become increasingly precious to her, representing continuity and love that transcend the losses she has experienced. Looking toward the future, Carol continues to express interest in new projects and opportunities, though she approaches them with the wisdom and selectivity that come with experience. She remains open to roles and appearances that excite her creatively while being realistic about her energy and capabilities. Her legacy is secure, but her desire to continue contributing to entertainment and inspiring others remains strong. Carol Burnett today represents the possibility of aging with grace, purpose, and continued relevance. Her current life demonstrates that retirement from active performing doesn't have to mean withdrawal from meaningful engagement with the world. Instead, she has found ways to adapt her talents and interests to her current circumstances while maintaining the humor, warmth, and authenticity that have defined her throughout her remarkable career.